Thank you for staying tuned. The world news at 12 begins with a former senior special assistant in the Zamfara state government, Musa Mohammed Kamara, accusing Nigeria's Minister of State for Defense and former Zamfara state governor, Dr. Bello Matawalle, of buying vehicles, funding armed bandits, and shielding a notorious terrorist after his arrest. Matawalle was appointed Minister of State for Defense by President Bola Tinubu in August 2023. In a video released on social media, Kamara, speaking in Hausa, detailed how vehicles and cash were allegedly distributed to wanted terror commanders, including Kachala Halilu, Bello Turji, and Ado Alero during Matawalle's tenure as governor. Kamara said the allegations currently being debated in the media are not false, insisting that he personally handled some of the transactions. According to Kamara, vehicles were purchased under the instructions of the former governor and delivered to the notorious warlords. He further alleged that large sums of money were distributed to bandit groups across all 14 local government areas of Zamfara state. Kamara also referenced a separate incident involving Haru Dole, a notorious terror leader said to possess over 500 AK-47 rifles. He claimed Haru Dole was arrested at Guzau Hospital by security operatives and taken to Abuja. The former SSA also stated that he personally handled the purchase and renovation of a house allegedly gifted to terror kingpin Bello Turji. Kamara added that he was entrusted with 88 million naira to purchase cows meant for distribution to residents during Salah. He claimed the cows were bought and delivered, but many were later stolen or diverted. He appealed to Malam Murtala Bello Asada, the whistleblower currently facing threats and petitions, to stand with him as a primary witness. He insisted that the revelations are necessary to ensure justice for the people of Zamfara state. Meanwhile, the Labour Party has made it clear that no aspirant will receive an automatic ticket for the 2027 elections, including former presidential candidate Peter Obi. According to the party, all positions, whether presidential, governorship or other elective seats, will be contested through proper primaries. The announcement comes as speculation continues to rise over Obi's next political move and his long-standing silence on whether he will return to the party ahead of 2027. The Labour Party National Publicity Secretary Obiora Ifo explained that the party will strictly follow its internal democratic rules. According to him, only the National Convention has the authority to decide who eventually flies the party's flag in any election. He stressed that the party will not bend its procedures for any individual, regardless of popularity or past contributions. Ifo noted that the National Executive Committee had already taken a firm position that every aspirant must emerge through a transparent and competitive process. Speaking on Obi's current position, Ifo said the former Anambra governor has kept a wide distance from the party leadership for almost a year. He stated that only Obi can clarify where he stands politically, adding that the party will not speak on Obi's behalf. The Labour Party secretary also disclosed that the party did not discuss Obi's matter during its recent NEC meeting because the agenda was focused on kickstarting congresses and primaries nationwide. He described the congresses held so far as successful, noting that INEC monitored the exercises and confirmed the compliance with electoral guidelines. Meanwhile, the federal government is set to recruit over 94,000 new personnel into Nigeria's security services as part of measures to tackle rising insecurity across the country. Under the plan, the Police Service Commission and the Nigerian Police Force will recruit 50,000 police constables. The recruitment portal is expected to be open to eligible Nigerians from December 15, 2025 to January 25, 2026. In a statement on Thursday by the head of Protocol and Public Affairs, Toti Carlo, the Commission said the recruitment portal would open to eligible Nigerians from December 15 to January 25, 2026. An official of the Nigerian Army speaking off the record because he was not authorized to speak to the press said the Army may recruit about 14,000 new soldiers following the President's directive. The Navy and Nigerian Air Force did not provide exact numbers, but sources said both services will increase their intakes. In June, the Ministry of Interior announced a nationwide recruitment of 30,000 personnel across the 4 paramilitary agencies. You're still listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. A former Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, was today arraigned before an Abuja High Court sitting in Gwarimpa by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) over alleged 2.2 billion naira contract fraud. Justice Mariam Hassan ordered that the former minister be remanded at the Kuje Correctional Center pending the hearing of his bail application fixed for Monday, December 14. Ngige pleaded not guilty to 8 counts bordering on abuse of office and acceptance of gifts from contractors of the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund (NSITF) while he served as its supervising minister between September 2015 and May 2023. After the plea, EFCC counsel Sylvanus Tahir, a senior advocate of Nigeria, applied for a trial date and asked the court to remand the defendant. He noted that in view of the not guilty plea entered by the defendant, they applied for the trial date. The defense lead counsel, Patrick Ikweto, also a senior advocate of Nigeria, however, opposed the EFCC's submission and urged the court to grant his client bail on health grounds, noting that the former minister had been in EFCC custody for 3 days prior to the arraignment. He noted that the issue of whether he will be granted bail or not is a right in the Nigerian constitution. He argued that the allegations were not comparable to terrorism or treason charges that would justify denying bail. He also challenged the EFCC's application, saying the defense was not given time to respond. The prosecution, however, countered him, noting that the defendant's alleged offense was not trivial and should not be downplayed by the defense. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress (APC) in Rivers State has formally registered Governor Siminalayi Fubara as a member of the party. This happened after the Rivers State governor recently defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressives Congress (APC), where he says he will now align with President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. This comes after the lifting of the state of emergency imposed on the state by the president in March 2025, following a rift between members of the Rivers State House of Assembly and the governor of the state. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, has said that banks will be required to request a tax identification number (TIN) from all taxable Nigerians as part of the federal government's new tax administration framework set to take effect on January 1, 2026. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, disclosed this in an interview shared on his X account on Thursday. According to him, Section 4 of the Nigerian Tax Administration Act, which takes effect on January 1, 2026, makes the possession of a tax ID mandatory for all taxable individuals. He clarified that the requirement does not apply to student or dependent who will be exempted from needing a tax ID to maintain a bank account. Oyedele noted that the policy has existed since the 2020 Finance Act, but the NTAA now provides the formal legal backing for enforcement. He added that income earners and businesses already issued TINs will not need to obtain new tax IDs. I'm now being joined by Dr. Peter Anosike for the news analysis segment right here on the World News at 12. Good afternoon to you, sir, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Let's begin with this recent, what one would call a damning allegation by a former aide to former Zamfara State Governor and now the Minister of State for Defense, Bello, Mohammed Matawalle, who alleges that as governor, he had direct access to bandits and terrorists terrorizing his people. And not only did he have direct access, but that he was funding them with money, cars, and even giving them houses. Now, I want us to actually take a listen to what this person said, although he was speaking in Hausa language. Now, after we take a listen, I'm going to also read out a translation of what has been said so that you also get to hear from this person. This is taking a while to load, but I want you to actually hear it just up to an extent, and then I'll read out the translation of what this person said. So the next voice you will hear right now will be that of former aide of the incumbent Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle. The name of this former aide is Musa Mohammed Kamara, and here is what he had to say.
alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Sunana Musa Muhammad Kamara, tsohon SSA na tsohon gwamnan jihar Zamfara, Dr. Bello Matawalle Maradu. Wannan ita ce appointment letter ɗita, kuma har ya ƙara gwamnati babu inda aka ce an kore ni ko an dakatar da ni, har muka ƙara gwamnati. Yanzu nake duba media, nake ganin takarda tana yawo, an yi ƙarar Malam Murtala Bello Asada, malamin musulunci, akan zargin ya ɓata ma shi ministan tsaro mai ci yanzu suna. Akwai wasu kilif da na duba na gani na cikin karatuttukan Malam Murtala Bello Asada. So ina ganin indiya akan su ne aka fatawa ko kuma ake ja in ja, wannan abu ba ƙarya ba ce. Akwai wani kilif da na gani wanda Malam yake magana akan an so mai 'yan ta'adda motoci. Wallahi sun matallahi billahi da jalla ilaha illa, an so motoci an bada mota, an ba Katalla Aliyu, an ba Turji, an ba Ado Aliyu, waɗannan motoci an so su an bada. Akwai wani kilif kuma da na ga yana yawo cewa an sau dussa an ba 'yan ta'adda, an sau dussa. Wallahi sama tallahi ni Musa Kamara ni aka ba kwangila na sau dussa. Wannan bank statement wanda ke nuna duka local government 14 na jihar Zamfara, ga sunayensu, babu wanda ba tura man naira miliyan 3 ba. Idan aka haɗa kuɗi naira miliyan 42 sun suka shiga akawun ɗina, na sau buhun dussa 28,000. Kowace local government na san waɗanda na ba buhu 2,000, kuma an ba 'yan ta'adda. Malam Murtala ya taɓa wani clip wanda na ga yana magana akan an kama Haru Dole. An kama Haru Dole wanda babban ɗan ta'adda ne, kuma yana da bindigogi 500. An kama shi SCS asibitin Goso suka kama shi, an yi halbe shi ga kafa, sun je an kama shi an tafi da shi.
All right, because of our time, I'll just read out the translation. This video has played for about 2 minutes and 28 seconds, but it's 4 minutes and 49 seconds long. It's actually on social media. So I want to just read out a translation of some of what this person in this video has said. The person whose voice you've been hearing is Musa Mohammed Kamara, and he served as a former senior special assistant to the former Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle, who is currently the Minister of State for Defense. He said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Musa Mohammed Kamara, former SSA under the former Zamfara State government of Dr. Bello Matawalle of Maradun. This is the matter. There is a lot of talk, and even after the government change, there was no place where it was said that I was dismissed or suspended until we left office. Now, I'm seeing on the media that a petition is circulating against Malam Murtala Bello Asada, accusing him of insulting and defaming the Minister of Defense. There are some clips I watched in which Malam Murtala Bello Asada was speaking, so we see that there are accusations and counter-accusations. This thing is not false. Vehicles were bought and given to bandit leaders. There is a clip I saw where the Malam said that vehicles were bought. Walai Suman Talai Bilai, vehicles were bought and distributed. Vehicles were given to Kachala Halilu, Turji, Ado Aleru. Those motorcycles were truly bought and given out. There is another clip I saw again recently that they were settled, given money. Truly, I, Musa Kamara, was among those who were given that settlement. This bank settlement record shows all 14 local governments of Zamfara State and their names. Now, this was the part of the video where he raised up a particular document, right? In continuation of the translation, he says, there is none of them that did not receive 3 million naira. When the money was added, it totaled 42 million naira, and it entered my account as a settlement of 28,020 naira. Each local government I know received its amount, and the money was also given to the youths. Malam Murtala also spoke in a clip about the arrest of Haru Dole. Haru Dole, one of the top bandits who had 500 AK-47s. He was arrested by SCS at the Gwaso hospital. They arrested him and took him to Abuja to the office of Ilya Muradi. From SCS, he was handed over to Ilya Muradi's office. Matawalle sent his aide, Dr. Bashir Maru, to the hospital to take the man and hide him, and that was done. I handled the purchase of houses given to bandit leader Turji. Malam Muritala also spoke about the house that was bought for Turji. Bilahi alazaili ilaha ilahu. A house was bought. I was the one who bought the house. Someone began building it but abandoned it. They came and said I should talk to his younger brother, and I saw a small man with an elephant statue in Fakai town. The house was bought, completed, and handed over. These things we are seeing, some people are denying them, but everything that was done, I know. Even though I have no close relationship with Malam Muritala, some of these things are true. For example, Malam Muritala said cows were bought and stolen. Wallahi Sumatalahi, I, Musa, was given 88 million naira to give to Kachala Halilu and Kachala Turji. I took the money to them for buying cows. The cows were bought at 140,000 naira and we were given 50,000 naira each as logistics. He told us to use 10,000 naira each for transport when bringing the cows. The cows were bought under a contract. They were to be shared to the people of Zamfara State for Salah. I delivered the cows. One of the owners of the cows stolen from him saw me. Alam Bakaura followed with his cows from Satsa to Batsari, and he followed his cows. It's a lot. If I take all of this translation, we will not leave here today. But Dr. Peter Anosike, these are damning allegations being made against someone who is supposed to be the Minister of State for Defense, supposed to be defending the nation. Some Nigerians have been calling, and even international security experts have been calling for his sack, right after the Minister for Defense actually resigned and former CDS Musa was appointed. What's your take on all of what you've heard?
Well, this is just a confirmation of what not just Nigeria but the world already know, that the current Minister of Defense state was funding terrorism as a governor.
You're saying you believe what you just heard?
It's a confirmation. It's a confirmation already. That's a pressure on the president to sack him. Understand? There's already a pressure on the president that to sack him because of his links with these terrorists that are ravaging both Zamfara, Sokoto, and Castena. When those cars were bought, it was public. We saw it. When the motorcycles were also bought, we saw it. So people were even shocked why somebody who failed in the area of insecurity as a governor of a state should be made a minister of defense. Because when Bello Matawalle was the governor of Sokoto State, there was no difference between Borno and Zamfara State. And that person that failed woefully in the area of managing security was appointed Minister of Defense. What do you expect him to do? So for me, that his own appointee confirmed being involved in all these things, simply confirmed what the people already know.
But if this person comes out to say that he was a part of it,
that he was involved,
that he was reportedly doing the governor's bidding as at then, is that not also an indictment on himself? And would you expect the government to look the other way?
Well, it's just like Omoto Shaw, who confirmed, who sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment because of what he said. So for me, Matawalle is also qualified to be given the same treatment, because even though he can say that he did not do it, but he sent people to do it. He sent people to do it. So it's now behoves on the presidency to do what they feel is just. But I know that in the country there are different laws for different people, and those are being interpreted differently based on one's alignment and one's geographical zone. But I know that the minister is on his way out. I have said it even more than 2 weeks ago.
On his way out. After he's out, what else? What next?
Well, he should be sacked first. Then if he's sacked, then DSS should take up this issue. That's if it's a country.
Activities being carried out against innocent Nigerians.
Well, that's in court. Somebody can be used as a state witness. Understand? Somebody can be used as a state witness. Then for coming out and exposing something, understand? He can be the judge can decide not to give him the maximum punishment for that case. Understand? But the primary suspect here is the governor, who they are doing his bidding. Understand? The governor of the state, they are just messengers. They are just messengers. So I appreciate him for coming out to confirm this. Not that people don't know. Even United States know. Other countries know that when he was a governor, he was patronizing these people. I would like to use this word, patronage. That he was patronizing these people.
Now, when you talk about patronizing, we've seen some northern governors actually actively and negotiating with these terrorists and these bandits that actually go into villages, pillage the villages, and then hurt the people, right? We've seen communities negotiating with these bandits, giving them cows, giving them food, giving them whatever they ask for, giving them money, levies that are imposed of them in exchange for their life. Would you say that this was, if this whole thing is true, that this was what the Zamfara state governor then, who is now the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle, was trying to do to ensure that he pushes these people back so that they do not continue hurting his people, and not actually a funding, but a take what you want and leave my people alone?
It is funding. The guy confirmed that he was given 88 million to give to them. So it is funding. It is funding, understand? You are patronizing bad guys, people who are supposed to face justice. You are shielding them. You are aiding and abetting them in the heinous crimes that they are committing against the people. So for me, he should be sacked and let him face justice.
Why do you think that the federal government is yet to release the list of terrorism financiers that they said they were going to release tonight for Nigerians to see?
Well, maybe some of them are untouchables in the country. Maybe some of them are untouchable. Maybe some of them are in the right party. Understand? Maybe some of them are in the right party. It is only those who are in the wrong party that are being persecuted. Maybe some of them are in the right party. Maybe some of them have a right connection. Maybe exposing some of them, other heads might rule. So they might have their reasons for still keeping on the list. But I know that Nigeria is changing for the better as we speak.
Nigeria is changing for the better.
Sure.
In what way? Are there on the ground things happening to better the lives of Nigerians that we do not know about? But the question I really want to ask on this whole situation is, for Nigerians who have been going through this terrorism for a while, for the Nigerians who have seen their family members, their husbands, their wives, their children being unfortunately, terribly, brazenly and brutally murdered by these murderous elements, what is the justice for those Nigerians if indeed all of these allegations are true, and the person who, as you say, was responsible for funding the people who were carrying out this evil is actually now in a place whereby he's the one who's supposed to defend the people against that evil?
I want to repeat, the Minister of Defense state is on his way out. There's no way Tinubu will continue to shield him. There's no way Tinubu will continue to protect him. Tinubu will save his own head.
If all of this was evident to the people of Zamfara state, like this man is saying, how come he was appointed in the first place? What was it he did with security in his state that was so wonderful that the president saw him worthy of appointment? Or did the president just have names and appointed them to just any ministries, like what we are seeing with the ambassadorial list?
I don't know how much he must have contributed to the victory of the party. We don't know that his influence and so on and so forth. So this is just the ministers were not appointed based on merit. It was a reward for one job or the other. So I don't know what he must have done, but he was one of the worst persons to have been appointed a minister, especially defense. Because when he was a governor, Zamfara failed woefully in the area of protection of life and property. Zamfara was like Borno State. So it was a shock to me that such a person was appointed a minister of defense, an area that he failed 100%. But now, truth can delay, it can take time, but it must surely surface. And right now, it is coming out.
All right, let's go to political matters, where the Labour Party has made it clear that no aspirant under the party will receive an automatic ticket for the 2027 elections, not even their former presidential candidate, Peter Obi. Now, the party says all positions, whether it is presidential, gubernatorial, any other elective seat, House of Reps, whoever you are, they will be contested through proper primaries. Now, Nigerians have been speculating about Obi's next political move and his long-standing silence on whether he will return to the Labour Party ahead of 2027. The ADC have been expecting that Obi will declare for them that Obi will say, "Oh, I'm finally a member," and no longer be one leg in and one leg out. Well, Obi Araifo, who is the Labour Party National Publicity Secretary, says the party will not continue to discuss Obi's matter, and they did not discuss it during the recent NEC meeting because they need to look at other things. Is Obi dragging the Labour Party back?
Obi Araifo is a factional publicity secretary.
So who's the real publicity secretary?
Labour Party has two factions.
Abure
the Abure, sure. So Ifo belongs to the Abure. So we are here to educate, understand?
All
me?
right. So anything we hear about Obi should rather be coming from the Nenadi Usman caretaker committee.
And that's where Obi that's aligning to. But right now, we don't know where Obi is. Understand me?
But even if he aligns with the Nenadi Usman caretaker committee, like you said, right now, we don't know where he is. He's not speaking whether for the Abure faction or for the Nenadi Usman faction. Obi is not speaking even for himself. It's almost as if he's allowing these speculations to continue to grow, allowing other people to speak for him and against him, disparage him. It's now as if it's now like there's this mental gymnastics of, oh, what does Obi think? Where does Obi stand? He's not saying anything for himself.
Silence is a powerful tool, very powerful tool.
Is
understand
silence
me?
a powerful tool in the kind of
silence
that we play in Nigeria?
Silence is a very powerful tool. Understand?
You know, when you keep silence, you allow other people speak for you.
It's good to keep people guessing, keep people speculating, because you cannot attack what you don't know. Understand? So P2B is living rent-free in a lot of people's head. When the time comes, he will say where he is. When the time comes, he will say where he is. So for now, he is keeping Nigerians guessing. Understand?
Is that really the best move? You know, his supporters want to know where they would channel their energy.
Election, this is 2025. We're not even in 2026. When the right time comes, P2B will tell Nigerians where he is. Understand me? When the right time comes, P2B will tell Nigerians where he is.
Some political analysts feel that his silence is really not helping him and that he's losing followers because of the silence. He's losing followers because he's refusing to say where he stands, and even in his criticism of this administration and their policies, that he really tries to play it too safe, and that politics is a risky game and he should be willing to play his ball into the net at any point.
Those followers, where are they going?
They've said they want to follow him wherever he's going, and so that's why they
fine,
so that they can know where they are following him to.
So
if he seems to be in limbo, do you want his followers to be in limbo with him as well, in political limbo right now?
You should wait. They should wait. P2B will tell them where to go to. P2B should tell them where they go, if they really believe in him. Understand? But I was reading that's a comment before that I walked into this studio. If not P2B, we would follow Tinubu. It doesn't make any meaning. Understand me?
He's not only losing followers to the current president, he's
It doesn't
losing
make
followers to Showore as well.
It
He's
doesn't
losing followers to other political parties and other
which
aspirants.
means they never believed in him.
Oh, but they did. We saw how people turned out for him. We saw how Maurice Moye, who was part of the one of the coordinators of the Obedient movement, had to drop out of that movement, saying he spent millions of his own money, but Obi is not speaking to them. Obi is not saying anything. Even the people who did the groundwork, even the people who were part of the grassroots mobilization are saying they don't want to be aligned with him anymore because he's not speaking.
Silence is an important tool in politics.
This
If
silence
you
doesn't
understand
seem to
it,
be working for him.
it is working for him. It is working for him big time. It is working for him big time because you cannot attack what you don't know. You cannot attack what you do. There are evil people around waiting for him to just make a statement. So this silence is disarming them. It is only those who are not stout believers of Obi that are saying if he's not talking, we follow another person. No, Jesus' apostles never followed the Pontius Pilate when Jesus was crucified. Understand? So if they believe in him, they should wait for him to give them direction.
All right. Just before you go on, because of our time, let's quickly talk about the federal government approving the enlistment of 94,000 new security agents. The police will get about 50,000 police constables, and it is expected that the army would also be getting some as well as other security agents. Are we sending people to the front lines without proper training? Because 50,000 police constables, what is the process of training these people? What do we have right now? What is the timeline that we can use to train these people? Remember also that police orderlies have been withdrawn from VIPs, so it's now like we have more people on standby. Security agents, military agents have also been withdrawn from the checkpoints. So with all of this new recruitment, what is the timeline for their training? How do we ensure that they have in-depth training before they are being sent to the field, for the sake of ordinary Nigerians who will encounter these people?
The issue is this: even the number is not even enough. We don't have up to 2 million policemen to protect more than 200 million people. The standard everywhere in the world is 1 policeman for 400 people. But in Nigeria, we are seeing a kind of 1 policeman for 8,000 people or more. So we don't have enough people, enough policemen to protect this country. So even this number is not even enough. But the problem is that they are not well catered for. They are not well motivated. They are not well motivated. This profession is seen as for those who are frustrated. And again, the children of our president, ministers, senators should also be joining this police. The son of Benjamin Netanyahu is in Israeli army. So no, there's nothing wrong if Tinubu's son joined Nigerian army. There's nothing wrong. There's insecurity. People must lead by example. I'm sending my son to join Nigerian army. So it will encourage others. It will encourage others. It will motivate others. If we begin to see the sons of governors, the sons of president joining the army, joining the police, it will motivate and encourage others.
So more Nigerians who want to be a part of it.
When their children are there.
All right, then it's time for us to go because our time is fast spent. Dr. Peter Noske, I do appreciate you for being a part of the news at 12 this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. You have been listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. You heard that a former aide has alleged that Matawalle bought vehicles and gave cash to wanted terrorists. You also heard that Labour Party has declared no automatic ticket for Peter Obi in 20 2027. Also, federal government approves 94,000 new enlistments amid insecurity, and court orders Ngige's remand in prison and John's case in alleged 2.2 billion naira fraud. That is a wrap on the world news at 12. My name is Chioma Innocent. Good afternoon to you, and thank you for listening. Do stay tuned. Matters will come up by 1:30 p.m.